Hello all and welcome to another Darticle webinar. My name is Werner and in today's webinar we'll be going through the following topics. New dark theme, circuit and caller ID on data accounts, and block and redirect users on suspension. To start off with, let's look at the new dark theme. So Darticle has introduced a new dark theme throughout the entire system. In order for you to enable this, you need to run through the following steps. Firstly, you're going to go to your setup, system settings, and your debugging. When scrolling down, you'll notice that there's a tab, Enable Darticle Admin User Themes. This you need to click on Yes, and then update your settings. Confirmation will be received at the bottom, and then the second step, go to your account, click on My Account, scroll down, and you will see User Theme. So the default setting has been indicated as the default light version. So we need to choose the dark. Once again, update your settings, and in a couple of seconds the dark theme will be applied. To give you a slight overview of what this looks like in the application, you can go onto a customer's data account, and there you can see how the dark theme has been applied. Looking at the usage, you'll see that all the inverted colors and everything looks nice and pretty. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to change back to the light theme. So again, just to run through the settings, firstly we're going to go through to setup, system settings, and then debugging. Change the enable auto admin theme, and then back to your account settings, and then changing it back to the light. Again, update your settings, and now we'll revert back to the light. Note that at the end of the session I'll be giving a little time allocation for all the questions that you might have, so we'll be looking into answering those questions at that time. Now on to the second topic for our discussion, the circuit and caller ID on data accounts. Darticle has added a few improvements to the data accounts menu. A new column, circuit ID, enabled under the Show Hide Columns button, now be displayed on the data accounts list view. The circuit ID for Telkom Radius accounts will be auto-collected from active Radius sessions. For other Radius accounts, i.e. wireless services, the caller ID or MAC address is collected and stored in this field. So if we go through to the second tab, we're going to be looking at data accounts, to populate the information. What we do first is then show and add hide columns, scroll down, activate the circuit ID as well as with name. Looking at the information which is now populated into that column, which is a circuit ID. This information is also viewable on the customer's profile on 3 different places. Just after this again. Firstly, it will be indicated on the active session if it had. In this particular case, it does not. For the caller ID, it will be indicated on the data account as well as on the previous data session. And now moving on to our third topic, how to block and redirect. You can choose to block or to redirect your data account users when they get suspended. Suspension for non-payment can be done manually by blocking the data account or by suspending the customer account. How to suspend the customer account depends on whether or not the suspension approval process is activated. What I'm referring to here is inside your workflow, under your accounts workflow. Under the suspension tab, you would normally have an overdue customer, and it runs through the process of first notification sent out. If no response, second notification has been sent out, and if still no response, it eventually lands up in the suspension page. I'm not going to be going through this in detail as this has been covered previously. To access suspend account block settings, we need to go through to setup, then Radius server to access the Radius server setup and then move on to the suspend account blocking. In order for that to happen, I'm going to go through to Radius server. And here we have our different suspension blocking methods. Go through the list, start with the address list. All suspended data accounts with a fixed IP address will be assigned to an address list. Data accounts without a fixed IP address will be blocked by Radius from authenticating. The firewall needs to be configured to redirect users in the suspended address list to a static page. So the suspended address list has already been created and it's been added onto this field, and then obviously the device which is going to maintain the address list has been added. The second option that we have for blocking is the IP pool. IP pool, all suspended data accounts will be assigned an IP from an IP pool. This pool must exist either in Datatal or on the HiSite NAS router. If a suspended data account has a fixed IP assigned, this IP will be ignored from the bottom when the account is suspended. Note to self, something that's very important is to remember the IP address priority sequence. A fixed IP will override a normal IP pool. Suspension overrides the fixed IP and the normal IP pool. A capped pool will override a fixed IP. And then lastly, suspension pool will override a capped IP pool. We look at our third blocking method, which is going to be Radius block. All suspended data accounts will be blocked by Radius, so the account will not be able to obtain access to the network. So if we look at a data account, you have an option of blocking the Radius from within the data account. By clicking block account, you will receive a notification. Are you sure you want to? Yes, you can. And it would then indicate that the account has been blocked. If we look at our edit settings, so this account's already hard capped. Choose another one quickly. Let me try this again. So if you want to block the account from within the data account, you have that option to block it. So just running through the notification again. Yes, it would then indicate that the account has been blocked. So if you go through on the audit trail, either by clicking on changes, you will see that the authentication has been set from accept to reject. If you edit the data account, it would also indicate that where it used to be on accept, it is now a reject. Should you choose to reinstate the account in order for it to become active again, then the customer will be able to connect once you've decided to unblock the account. So let's go through that. Select yes, I do want to unblock the account. Looking at the audit trail again, it has been changed back from reject to accept. And once again, if you edit the account, you'll be able to see that the authentication has been set up as accepted. Customer then establishes connection again. The data session will run as active.